Sheriff Todd Baxter, employees of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. District Attorney Sandra Doorley, employees of the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Supervising Judge Alex Renzi, New York State Supreme Court. Paul C. Metzer, James Finley Jr., and Penfield Court. My name is Chris Chichester. Today is Monday, July 29, 2024. I'm demanding information from you using the Freedom of Information Law. This law was passed in 1978 by the New York State Legislature to empower ordinary citizens to acquire information. And that's what I'm doing today, on this Monday, July 29th. This is the Freedom of Information Law, dated July 29th, 2024. I have been in jail 6 times, and 6 times the prosecutor's not talked in court. Perry Duckles, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley, Mark Monahan of the District Attorney's Office. And who is it? Freedom of Information Law. Documentation for the case of Christopher Chichester with John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Penfield Court. What is the name of the prosecutor? District Attorney Sandra Doorley. It's the payroll for the District Attorney's Office. Freaking sociopath is right here. Who is it? Freedom of Information Law. Is that Julie Hahn or is that not Julie Hahn? Who's on Monroe County Court with 17%, where she's defeated by 14 points. You know who it is. I've contacted Julie Hahn repeatedly, and I don't hear anything from her. She can have the decency and integrity to say, I'm not your prosecutor. There's nothing from her. 14 points she's defeated by. State legislature needs to change this law that allows defeated judges to be in a court, and judges like Alex Renzi with 25%, where he's rejected by 75% of the voters. Second here, Freedom of Information Law, for this $28,000 bald-headed widow, Paul C. Metzer, who once had total control over my life when I languished in Livingston County Jail in Geneseo, the same jail Tops Buffalo mass murder Peyton Gendron was in. Freedom of Information Law, documentation for the case of Christopher Chichester before Paul C. Metzer in Penfield Court. What is the name of the prosecutor? District Attorney Sandra Doorley. It's the payroll for the District Attorney's Office. The freaking sociopath is right here, and who is it? Third, Freedom of Information Law. I'm forced into Alex Renzi because perjurer 73312 Michael Houlihan, I've talked about repeatedly, director of the grand jury, Michelle Crowley, about this cop-freak hiding on private property with $85,000 Don Benedetto, and then lying under oath about me swinging a hammer at him on my back porch in Penfield, New York. Don't you think that's a little unusual, director of the grand jury, Michelle Crowley, that they're on my back porch in Penfield? If you would have called me to the grand jury, I would have testified before it and answered every word. And I'm your ham sandwich when I'm indicted, when I don't know the grand jury's convened. So, I'm forced into here, the $210,000 supervising Judge Alex Renzi because of Michael Houlihan of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, who was under investigation by the State Attorney General's Office. So, Todd Baxter doesn't take his weapon from him, doesn't put him on restricted duty, and then he walks onto private property, employs the District Attorney's Office, getting the cops hide on private property. Freedom of Information Law, documentation for the case of Christopher Chichester, Alex Renzi, New York State Supreme Court. What is the name of the prosecutor? District Attorney Sandra Doorley. Because of cop-freak perjurer Michael Houlihan, I have a prosecutor for Alex Renzi. And who is it? Because it's the payroll for the District Attorney's Office. I have at least 3 prosecutors. I'm confident I have more. You're finished and done is what Alex Renzi said to me. That's not true. Because all it takes is I'm on here now 3 minutes and 30 seconds to inflame you freaks and sociopaths. It's just some arrest warrant lie. Where you force me into court, where I can just stand there like a Soviet Union show trial. You just declare me guilty of whatever you want, where I have no due process. I have no civil and constitutional rights. Just remand me to Monroe County Jail, Livingston County Jail, wherever the hell else you want to remand me to, and then hold me in jail for as long as you want to. So that's happening every time. Every time I'm in jail as an innocent man, I'm not told a sentence. So, payroll for the District Attorney's Office. You Perry Duckles, the Deputy District Attorney, 113-918-94 cents. You know who it is. Down here, Matthew Schwartz, 106, Mark Monahan, 112, Michelle Crowley, 100, Sarah Van Stradek, 104, Raymond J. Belinda's, 104, Ron Catalano, 107, Elizabeth D. Buckley, 104, Michael Harrigan, 102. Did you get that packet, Michael Harrigan, that I sent you? I believe it was to you. I have to do this from memory. Because I sent a senior assistant district attorney at least 500 pages, and I believe it was you, Michael Harrigan. But the assistant district attorney I'm interested in the most, as far as acquiring information, is Elizabeth Buckley. She's the director of the local courts. I've been forced into a local court in Penfield Court, where there is no table for prosecutors to sit at. Do you notice that, Elizabeth Buckley, that you stand in Penfield Town Court? There's no table for a defense attorney, defendant, public defender to sit at. The defendant's scale stands in front of the corrupt judge for the corrupt judge to make a decision about the guilt or innocence of the defendant's scale. And it's always guilt. I have not looked at that list of defendants, Paul C. Meltzer and James Horn Jr. So who is it? Tell me who it is. I know what this boy looks like in his three-piece suit before Paul C. Metzler. I know what the female looks like before Alex Renzi, who I think is Julie Hahn. And there were two females standing behind me for my last appearance in New York State Supreme Court at 99 Exchange Boulevard, where Alex Renzi said to me, "You finished and done a lie." And who is it? Are the two females standing behind me court employees? Are they my prosecutors? Or do I not have a prosecutor anywhere for my last appearance before the exalted one, Alex Renzi, a graduate of the illustrious Emory Law School in Atlanta, Georgia? This hack had to go 1,000+ miles away from New York to get his JD. He can't even go to law school in New York. So this is the payroll for the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office here, which has the salary for 75,904 Richard J. Siegel, who violently attacked the Penfield Public Library, and he hasn't been in jail, hasn't been arrested. Nothing's going to happen to him. I'll be in jail and arrested for walking outside here, saying nobody owns that land next to my residence here in Penfield, and walking back my rents. You think that's a crime, employees of the district attorney's office? The answer is no. Double standard of justice. Richard Chase Seaton stalks me into the Penfield Public Library, runs out, he slams his arm at the side of my head. I fall backwards. My head hits the ceramic tile. It kicks me on down the floor. The criminal complaint I wrote about him on July 22nd of last year, over 1 year ago. He hasn't been arrested. He hasn't been fired. He hasn't been jailed. Nothing's happened to Richard J. Seaton. He doesn't have to call Pretrial Services Corporation, the bureaucracy. I walk out here, I say, nobody owns this land, walk back to my residence. I'm arrested. I'm in jail. I have to contact Pretrial Services Corporation. I languish in jail. So, do you understand me, employees of the district attorney's office, sheriff's office, that if you walk outside here, stand right here where I used to live, say nobody owns that land, and walk back to my residence, that's not a crime? Because I talked to Timothy Murphy, the Monroe County Office of Real Property Tax Service. He can't confirm anybody owns this land. And when this freak Nayrod Shah, who was his mother right over here, goes to the sheriff's office about me walking through his park lot, and then I have to talk to Shannon Meyer of the sheriff's office, I say to her, I've walked through his park lot 4,000 times since I moved to this residence in 2012 with my then girlfriend, Laura Riley. We moved from Webster. Why are you calling me? Penfield High School students walk through his park lot. There's no warrant for the arrest by Shannon Meyer for Penfield High School students. My ex friend Adam, who lives next to me, walks through his park lot. There's no warrant for arrest for Adam. The elderly woman who lives across the street, who tells me she's been walking through his parking lot for 10 years. There's no warrant for her arrest. It's only me. So where's my 14th Amendment right to equal protection of laws? Perry Douglas, Elizabeth Buckley, Mark Monahan, and Michelle Crowder. The sheriff's office obliterated it because of this 50-year-old freak named Raj Shah, who lives with his 70-year-old mother. You got some significant problems in life if you're 50 or thereabouts and you live with your mother. So tell me who it is. July 22nd, 2024. I'm not going to hold up the criminal complaints in the interest of time, but I'm just reading 4 of the 5. I'm not going to do Michael Houlihan's. July 22nd, 2024. Todd, Baxter, Sandra, Doorley addresses. I contacted your Office of Gangsters, Psychopaths, and Freaks 1 year ago on July 22nd, 2023 for criminal complaints. These 4 criminal complaints arrived in your office 100+ times via United States Postal Service, United Postal Service, Federal Express, and Gmail. You signed for these 4 criminal complaints and ignored criminal acts upon me. My language: 1. The Richard J. Seaton, the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office, walked into the Penfield Public Library in Penfield, New York, ran at Christopher Chichester, slammed his arm at the head of Chichester, causing him to fall backwards and hit his head on the ceramic tile floor. 2. Nayrod Shah, Landon Kumar Shah, 2033 Penfield Road, Penfield, New York, 14526, falsely reporting an incident of Christopher Chichester, 426 Sanders Drive, and his walk through a park lot next to his residence. 3. Antonio Spino, Fairport, New York, locked the front and back doors of his residence, 26 Sanders Drive, Penfield, New York, without a court order. 4. Laura Riley, Webster, New York, transport the personal belongings of Christopher Chichester, 26 Sanders Drive, Penfield, New York, to a storage locker in Webster, New York, without a court order. What happened? Nothing happened. You're in the embrace of criminal acts by sick individuals that have escaped arrest, prosecution, and jail. Every single thing I possess vanished because of these 4 criminals you each gaze upon with ignorance, depravity, and silence. On July 22nd, 2023, I wrote, these are crimes. Each individual will not be arrested or prosecuted. There was a 1 day in jail served for these crimes that destroyed my life. because you are incapable of identifying crime and you count crimes for innocent citizens. You hate the human condition. Were my criminal complaints dismissed by a corrupt judge? Contact me with an answer about the status of each criminal complaint. I'll write each criminal complaint again using language of great specificity and clarity. For you two party switching frauds unable to understand a criminal act, this documentation that first arrived 365 days ago today is attached with other documentation that describes your repulsive destruction of innocence. I'm communicating with you on YouTube relentlessly. I've been on YouTube 100 plus times demanding the names of my prosecutors' silence using the Freedom of Information Law. I'll read this document on YouTube. You can watch me describe your demented, perverted existence at, and then there are YouTube links. Every single time on YouTube here, on these, demanding names of my prosecutors' silence using the Freedom of Information Law. Vanished nude sociopath freaks. For 18 minutes on this one here called Broken Glasses, 75904 Richard C. the Mountain Sheriff's Office, I talk about how he stalked me into the Pelham Public Library and violently attacked me, for which he has not been fired, arrested. Nothing's going to happen to this violent predator who will attack other innocent citizens. So, this July 22nd, the criminal complaints that were notarized by Christopher Price at the Monroe Branch of Rochester Public Library arrived again. This is stamped July 22nd, Todd Baxter. He's going to look at this or return the envelope to me, I should say, because the envelope will come back to me. And he just doesn't care about criminal acts committed upon me. The Sheriff of Monroe County is completely divorced from the law. So that's July 22nd, Sandra Doorley. The district attorney could call the sheriff and say, listen, Todd, he's correct that these are crimes. Or she could just ignore it because the district attorney cannot identify a criminal act. I don't know. I can't get into her mind. She's just going to ignore my criminal complaints. The district attorney could call the sheriff and tell him that these are criminal acts, and she's not going to do a goddamn thing. Trinity Ross got this, United States Attorney in Buffalo. I've been in contact with her 100 times. When Exalted One Alex Renzi looks at this, his thought is going to be, I want to send this Christopher Chavez to jail. You're going to send me some ludicrous document, forcing me in front of this hack right here, so you can just summarily declare me guilty, Michael Harrigan, of whatever you want to declare me guilty of, and I'll just languish in jail again. And then William Fitzpatrick, the district attorney in Onondaga County, has to investigate Sandra Doorley because Sandra Doorley's a corrupt freak. I sent him that documentation. I sent him, I think, 500 pages packet, William Fitzpatrick. I do not know if William Fitzpatrick is every bit as corrupt as Sandra Doorley, because I have no confidence in any elected officials. He could just decide to blow off her repulsive, disgusting, sick behavior with the Webster New York Police. And that's all there is to it. Federal Express, the same thing. All your names are on here. Those names are just red flags. I'm saying the criminal complaints there. I'm telling you to disclose the names of my prosecutors' silence. You're refusing every single time, like right here. Grotesque. December 30th. Comply with the four attached Freedom of Information Law documents PDF dated December 30th, 2023. Look at there right here. Criminal, Freedom of Information Law. Corruption requires repetition. The Freedom of Information Law. Documentation case of Christopher Chavez by John Pilamontes, Jr. Penn Town Court. What is the name of the prosecutor? District Attorney Sandra Doorley. Today is July 29th. On this December 30th, what I just read, I told you to disclose the name to me, and you refused. So, Freedom of Information Law. Documentation for the case of Christopher Chavez policy Mountain Penn Town Court. What is the name of the prosecutor? District Attorney Sandra Doorley. On this December 30th, I told you to disclose the names of my prosecutor. I read the same exact file on this December 30th. Freedom of Information Law. Documentation for the case of Christopher Chavez for Alex Renzi, New York State Supreme Court. What is the name of the prosecutor? District Attorney Sandra Doorley. On this December 30th, I told you to disclose the names of my prosecutor. Silence, you refused. So, Todd Baxter, where's your financial disclosure? Employees of the Sheriff's Office, Kathleen Miller, William Tadeo, Scott Alberti, Michael Rather. This is the financial disclosure of District Attorney Sandra Doorley. She has no money. She doesn't declare anything. No stocks, no bonds, no financial assets. Not even a house on here. Employees of the District Attorney's Office. Does Sandra Doorley not own a home? Does Bill Loftus, her husband, own that home and then the District Attorney lives in it? Is the home in the name of the husband of Sandra Doorley, Bill Loftus, and that's why her home is not on financial disclosure? She's been employed at the District Attorney's Office since 1992. And she has no money. 32 years of employment at district attorney's office and $0 she declares on here. But she sent it to me. Todd Baxter didn't send me anything. I told you on April 20th. This packet here has the April 20th. I sent the Freedom of Information Law demanding the financial disclosure of the sheriff, and he refused. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, so I'll say that before my next language. What are you hiding, Todd Baxter? It's definitely something you don't want people to know. And when I contact Controller Thomas P. DiNapoli, this is why you need to open your mail, you Benito Mussolini skinhead. I'm going to tell him they're refusing to send me a financial disclosure. Just like Paul C. Metzler did and James Molly did and Alex Renzi. I do not know if judges can refuse because it's not under the law to send a financial disclosure. I do not know that. But certainly, sheriff and district attorney are required to do that. Sheriff's office salaries here. Corey K. Brown, $155,366. Corey K. Brown makes $23,000 more than Todd Baxter. Michael Fowler, $163,877. Michael Fowler makes $31,000 more than Todd Baxter. Again, when I contact State Controller Thomas B. DiNapoli, this first page here, these two employees making $20,000 more than the duly elected sheriff. That's going to get his attention. I'm confident that it will. July 15th, 2024. I contacted you 1 year ago on July 15, 2023 about your psychopath employee 75904 Richard Sieben violating tagging pamphlet public library. Responsible use nothing. You embrace this violent free cop, and you embrace the violence that defies you. Violence is every inch of your sick existence. I've been violently attacked repeatedly by your Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Then goes up from there. I'm stalked over to Wegmans. I'm going into Fairport to go to Gold's Gym. 5 Monroe County Sheriff Office employees arrive. Vehicles, I should say. 5 vehicles arrived with 10 plus employees. Monroe County Sheriff Office employee got out of vehicle, ran at me, knocked me down. My head slammed down on the concrete pavement. They're all 10 standing over me. And then the psychopath that's in the 10 says to me, "Don't move, Chris." I'm motionless on the ground. I had to get an MRI because of that. If your head, Perry Duckles, slammed down on the concrete pavement because of a psychopath cop, I guarantee you'd be in the pursuit of justice. This is called anger. It has to be managed and controlled. Sometimes I will foul at it. Such as when I look at Chief of the Grand Jury Bureau, Michelle Crowley, who I contacted you on January 7th, demanding of you using the Freedom of Information Law. How did you form this grand jury that I don't know is convened, where I'm your ham sandwich? How did you pick these grand jurors? When was it convened? Who addressed the grand jury? Was it only Michael Houlihan? Who is it? I'll go back to Christopher Price at the Monroe Branch, Rochester Public Library, because what this old man Anthony Nospano did to me. Additional criminal complaints including you, Todd Baxter, giving my health care records to Paul C. Metzler from Penfield Courts. Again, why you need to open up your mail. When I write that complaint about you, Todd Baxter, violating the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, passed by my former employers, United States Senate, United States House of Representatives. This is a federal crime for you, Todd Baxter, to give my health care records to Paul C. Metzler from Penfield Court, and that's why you need to open up your mail. So that's going to be part of the criminal complaints I write. Todd Baxter, Sheriff of Monroe County, citizen of Rochester, New York. What I'm going to list on here is everything I don't own anymore because of 2 people. All my books are gone. My dress greens from 70 Carry 101st Airborne Division are gone. My BA from State University of New York at Stony Brook is gone. Letters my mother wrote me in elementary school are gone. My St. Christopher medals are gone. Everything I own is gone because of 2 people. 80-year-old Antonino Spano and my ex-girlfriend Laura Riley, Webster, New York, who I've known for 30 years. And I don't know this is happening because I'm languishing in Livingston County Jail. Now I get back, the door's locked, and I walk to Harrison Island Park in Penfield, and I slept in the park for 3 weeks. So, tell me who it is. You're going to continue to refuse to tell me who it is. This Nayron Shah, this freak that lives with his mother. I talked about this repeatedly. I won't dwell on this. My little guy adopted from Molly Pop Farm Humane Society. Nayron Shah, Penfield, New York, who lives or lived with his mother near where I used to live, believes that the psychopath cops should come to the home of an innocent citizen and demand that innocent citizen's dog. And that's the lunatic fringe for him to call the sheriff's office and have you freaks, the psychopaths, and sociopaths come to my residence. And this is when Nayron Shah lives right here. I'm walking my dog one day over here in this land you can't see behind my residence. The back window flies open. 30 minutes later, there's the Monroe County Sheriff's Office at my residence demanding my dog. This is why he's a psychopath. I'm at my front door, my little guy. He's behind me. This is vicious confrontation because of Nayraj Shah, Penn, New York, who lives with his mother, who doesn't come over to my residence to talk to me, calling the sheriff's office, who doesn't call me, and demanding my dog be confiscated and seized. So, why do I have to call Pretrial Services Corporation, Perry Douglas, Elizabeth Buckley, Mark Monahan, Joe Crowley? Pretrial Services Corporation, a joke. I don't have a trial schedule. Language has precision and definition and meaning. Pretrial Service Corporation. Is this not a public, taxpayer-financed government bureaucracy that Alex Renzi is forcing me to contact or not? What's the answer? The insane, disgusting freak show of you freaks at the district attorney's office. When I tell you to tell me why I have to call Pretrial Services Corporation, there's total silence. Because you don't think you have to explain anything when you smash someone into a million little pieces. So, tell me who it is. I know what this boy looks like. I know what the female looks like. In front of John P. Lomenzo Jr. Is that Julie Hahn? This is not Julie Hahn. Over and over. There's 50 documents in here. Chief of Grand Jury Bureau Michelle Crown telling you the names of my prosecutors. Right here, Elizabeth Buckley. 1,000 words. Elizabeth Buckley blowing me off on this January 5th, 2024. Using the Freedom of Information Law. Telling her to disclose this information to me. This $140,000 hack, Julie Sianka, shortly thereafter, right before January 4th. 3 times in 1 week period, the beginning of January of this year, I told you freaks and sociopaths, the district attorney's office, the public defender's office, tell me who it is. 1,000 words each time. This is insane destruction of my life by you. If you're a taxpayer financed public employee, especially a sheriff and a district attorney, you should open your mouth. The district attorney's office opens their mouth. Todd Baxter, the criminal complaints are in here. Here he is. This is November 20th, 2023. Sheriff of Monroe County refusing to open his mouth. A total disgrace. Here he is again, refused. There's 100 documents in here. This is on November 14th. Refused. Criminal complaints are in there, including about his own employees. So, December 23rd. Refused again. Here he is again. This is January 13th, 2024. He refused again. Talk about Richard Seaton violently attacking me. Here he is again. Refused again. February 17th, 2024. Refused again. Todd Baxter. Todd Baxter refused again. Here. February 16th, 2024. There's more. There's 50 times he's refused. Employees of the sheriff's office and district attorney's office. James McNair retired from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. He's now the director of public integrity, where he's, like Todd Baxter, a double dipper. I'm sure you know a double dipper is someone who is a taxpayer-financed public employee and retires. They have the retirement paycheck. And then they acquire or are hired at a second public position. So they have the retirement paycheck, money that's coming in. Then they have the current paycheck, and that's why they're a double dipper, and Todd Baxter's a double dipper. Todd Baxter's a double dipper because he was elected sheriff. He secured the votes of the franchise. That's the way it is. Todd Baxter created this double dipper, Janice McNair. He's returning my mouth to me. I'll guess he's seen me on YouTube. I have no idea. But why is he returning this to me? Because I include his office on here. That's why I include his name. He has multiple email addresses I found online. Janice McNair. This is why Janice McNair needs to open his mouth. Because when I contact County Executive Adam Bello, I'm demanding to know. I'm not asking when I use the Freedom of Information. I'm demanding every time. Did Todd Baxter call County Executive Adam Bello and fix this hack up, Janice McNair, to be a double dipper? What's he do all day long? Does he even go into the office and work a standard 40-hour work week? That's what I also demand to know. Well, here he is again. Not just once. Janice McNair again. I'm paying to reach him because I'm asking him. What I'm asking Janice McNair in this documentation is, did Todd Baxter call Adam Bello about securing him this job and creating a double dipper? Regina Harper's no longer at the public defender's office. I was at the public market, and there was an employee of the public defender's office, public defender Julie Sianka, securing signatures for ballot access. And I had a brief conversation with her, and I said, does Regina Harper work at the public defender's office? She told me no. What I also didn't know is that Mark Phillips doesn't work at the public defender's office anymore. Two of my public defenders who refuse to tell me the names of my prosecutors don't work at the public defender's office. Did you, Julie Sianka, tell Regina Harper and Mark Phillips when they were both at the public defender's office not to tell me the names of my prosecutors? I'm going to contact Sheriff Roman. I hope I pronounced her first name correctly. About you, Julie Sianka, you need to be removed as the public defender. You know who my prosecutors are. Do you not know who my prosecutors are? Is that your answer, Julie Sianka? So Regina Harper, the last time I appeared before Alex Renzi, I believe it was the last time, I said to her, who's my prosecutor for Alex Renzi? And she refused to tell me. And my respect for her just went out the window. I went from having respect and admiration for Regina. Regina came to Livingston County Jail and won my release. Then I said, who's doing this to me? This is where it becomes crystal clear. The public defender's office works for the district attorney's office. So, tell me who it is, and you're going to refuse to tell me who it is? MCSO, employment by length. Again, why you need to open your mouth, you bleeding Mussolini skinhead. On this pay, I demanded length of service because I worked for New York State Senate Majority Leader a long time ago, Ralph J. Marino, from 1990 to 1995. There was a man who walked through the Capitol who worked for Governor Nelson and Rockefeller who didn't have a job. And he'd been around for 50 years. Because he knew people, and that's the way the world works. It's who you know. So I demanded length of service because this man had been around for about 50 years in the 1990s, early 1990s. So when I was at the jail, I noticed that the weight problems that the sheriff's office employees have, and it's an absolute sick, disgusting disgrace. The weight problems. You, Todd Baxter, can't run faster than a 12-year-old girl. Because I've been right next to you, especially on those parades on East Main Street, where I have contacted and communicated with you at these parades by screaming your name. So I'm at the jail and I see this old man standing next to me after I just worked out, because you could go down to this area and run around in circles and use your exercise equipment. I'm only 5'7". This man is shorter than me. I looked over to my right like this. He looked like he was shrinking in his uniform. And I could tell right away he's at least 70. He's older than 70, because this is Frank Chernetsky. 57 years right here. Frank Chernetsky. If Frank Chernetsky was hired at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office when he was 18 years old, Frank Chernetsky is 75 years old at the jail. And this is the old man at the jail I'm standing right next to, who is a threat to himself and anybody else he comes in contact with, given his age and enfeebled existence. The enfeebled Frank Chernetsky is kept around by Todd Baxter because Todd Baxter knows Frank Chernetsky. When Frank Chernetsky is a security risk at the jail, he cannot be around the murderers, the rapists, the arsonists, the violent criminals, a 75-year-old man shrinking in his uniform, which Todd Baxter's in total oblivion about. The entire existence of Todd Baxter is oblivion. Just like this attorney Sandra Doorley on this July 24th, a year ago, called Warped. I'm telling you to tell me the names of my prosecutors of silence. And every single time you refuse to tell me, this is old man Anthony Ospano. I no longer have my DD-214 that was in my 1980 Mercury Capri when I left 2nd Squad, 17th Cavalry, 101st Airborne Division on April 14, 1988, when I was 22 years old. This document I had in my possession for 30 years is no longer in my possession because of two people. Laura Riley, Webster, New York, and Antonio Spano of Fairport, New York. It takes a court order to lock a citizen out. Antonio Spano doesn't have it. He hasn't been arrested. It takes a court order to move anything out of a residence. Laura Riley doesn't have it. She hasn't been arrested. It's extremely difficult to think about how the most important human beings in your life that you love and respect just radically change right in front of you. And that's her. She's not telling me she's doing anything. And I have a bookcase now that's at her residence. My bookcase that was in my possession for 8 years is now at the residence of Laura Riley, Webster, New York. And all my books are gone. She threw away my books. I had a washer and dryer and a Madden washer and dryer that cost $750. They're still in the residence. Anthony Spano is using. Other things too. Why didn't I get my security deposit back? Because he's lying about the state of the residence too. I'm going to have to file different types of documentation because of what this old man has done to me, because I'm going to have some type of civil litigation, And I also have to reacquire my security deposit. He's just not giving it back to me because this old man's a psychopath. And the fact that you're ignoring his criminal acts, locking me out, and other criminal acts he's committed, like I'm not sure if keeping a security deposit is a criminal act, so I want to be clear about that. But it's certainly unethical, immoral, and sleazy. You're just ignoring this old man. So all my books are gone because of this old man. All my clothes are gone because of this old man. My father's dresser he gave me from when he was a child in Brooklyn, New York, is gone. My bed is gone. My workout equipment is gone. My running shoes are gone. All the medals I've won in races in Rochester and Webster and Fairport and Penfield since I'm a runner are all gone. I've held this stuff up, pictures of it, on YouTube. It just doesn't matter to you. Freaks and sociopaths, the district attorney's office, sheriff's office, this old man is a criminal. Because you're criminals and psychopaths and freaks, that's why. So I'm going to continue to use the Freedom of Information Law upon you. This is blank. I'm going to be on here, I hope, in another 24 hours, telling you the formed employees of the sheriff's office and district attorney's office to comply with the law. Do you understand me? Deformed Perry Duckles, deformed Elizabeth Buckley, deformed Mark Monahan, deformed Michelle Crowley, that when I appear in a courtroom, I have a taxpayer-financed public employee assigned to that appearance has violated my civil and constitutional rights. And you're going to refuse to continue to comply with the law because you're in Jonestown at the district attorney's office. My name is Christopher Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I have been an innocent man my whole life.